president, he captured the soul of India as well. But yes, good thriller. On top of which, he's quite literally immortal. Kolkata hasn't had another superhero like him.
Indeed.
Amitabh Bachchan. Why?
Isn't it obvious, sir? He worked in Kolkata, he acted on stage in Kolkata, but when it comes to films, he chose to go away to Mumbai. Why? Couldn't he have joined Bangla films instead? He'd have made such a romantic hero.
By that logic, Shuman Chatterjee.
Oh, but wait!
India, wasn't it? I was the capital for 139 years. The so-called single modern city of British India.
Every single day, but not a dent anywhere. And can never get over the fact that this is a bridge without a single screw.
That explains why those who have a screw loose often climb to the top of the Aura Bridge. But my God, can you imagine the view?
Oh, please. Are you serious? Those in suits impersonating Englishmen. You want to teach me views and news? I know you inside out, Kolkata Babu.
Not only do you know me, I'm certain you've been infected by me too. I mean, look at you. Sometimes you spin madly up there when it gets gusty. Other times you're an old lady with gout rooted to the spot. Why, even this building you're so proud of is sometimes dismissed as a mere copy of the Taj Mahal. And wait, wasn't it blacked out with cow dung so that the Japanese couldn't bomb it? Cow dung.
There's nothing to laugh at. It's not.
Well, I admit it. Many things that ought to have been done were not done. But I will have you know, it's also true that free kitchens were opened in every neighborhood of Calcutta. Besides, the famine was a creation of the government, of politicians and bureaucrats. Winston Churchill cannot evade responsibility for the death of so many people. Do you know what he said about them? The starvation of anyhow underfed Bengalis is less serious than that of sturdy Greeks. How could he? Don't forget either that Noban, Bijan Bhattacharya's. What could I have done? I only watched in silence. If only there had been an IPTA then.
You are a strange one, sir. Sometimes you were wide awake, and then at other times you seemed fast asleep. Which of these two states were you in when the 19th century Babus were squandering their riches on the weddings of their pet cats, when they were bathing in rose water? Were you half asleep? Were you dozing?
আমারে ফ্রড করে প্রাণ কৃষ্ণ কোথায় গেলি আমারে ফ্রড করে প্রাণ কৃষ্ণ কোথায় গেলি I am sorry, very sorry, I am sorry, very sorry আমার
What do you know of it? I had so much fun. Here are these people oiling themselves profusely and then riding off in a 4-horse carriage to bathe in the river. What reckless glamour. And look, if the Babus didn't go overboard, where would the commercials of the Baiji's dance have been, huh? Or for that matter, the schools and colleges they started? Even my most beautifully illuminated festival, the Durga, would not have come into being.
Durga Puja would not have happened? Why not, sir?
Obviously, you don't know that it was Babu Nobukrishna Dev of Shobhabaja who donated large sums of money to set up madrasas, to build roads, to have musicians brought in from all over the elaborate concerts. He participated in the conspiracy against Siraj-ud-Dowlah in the Battle of Plassey. but also organized a magnificent Durga Puja to commemorate the victory. This was the event which put the Durga Puja prominently on our calendars.
Are you telling me that the man who started the idea of the big fat Durga Puja was the one who wanted to hand Bengal over to the British?
Of course, Bengal would Dashagur had been able to introduce widow remarriage without the support of the British.
What kind of nonsense is this? May I remind you of some scenes from your own history? How can you forget that thousands of people lined your streets to shower martyr Khudiram Boshu's dead body with flowers? Or that Binoy, Badul and Dinesh killed themselves after assassinating a tyrannical British officer in Writers' Building? Why, one of your most renowned barristers, Chittaranjan Das, used to have his clothes laundered in Paris, but the same person burnt all his western wear and began to dress in khadi. The man he defended successfully in the Alipur bomb case was none other than the poet of patriotism, Aurobindo Ghosh. For heaven's sake, sir, you are the city where the revolutionary organization Anushilon
Fought him and sank in everywhere, which he tolerated, as it happens.
Personally, I think these are the precise things that demonstrate how far ahead of the times these great men were. Vivekananda had to hear that he was no sage, for he visited the land of Christians and ate meat. And yet, it was he who made India proud with his speech in Chicago, right? His Guru Ramakrishna was even told he was illiterate. But he attracted the best minds with his natural wisdom and deep knowledge of religion. It was he who said, Joto moth, toto poth.
Etc. But his Nobel Prize is still the first line of my poetry of pride. I may have been displaced from the status of India's capital city in 1911, but just 2 years later came a crown whose luster is never to be diminished. The Nobel Committee said, Rabindranath Tagore is being awarded the prize because of his profoundly sensitive, fresh and beautiful verse.
I am perfectly aware. Hindu college is such a powerful statement of that. Imagine saying one must learn the English language, saying one must understand Western culture and meld it with one's own back then. Nowhere else in India could a school have been set up with these objectives. I can proudly say that in 1817, the British and the Bengalis joined hands to start an institution without which there would have been no Bengal Renaissance.
Bengal Renaissance, it was beyond belief. I get exhausted just thinking about all that Tagoreist alone did. They stuffed 10 geniuses into each member of the family.
Or being overly critical all the time. Every time the world thinks someone from your